be a few give or take on the laptop side. The remainder will be computers that will be coming down to council as well. There's peripherals that need to come to council, so for example, docks. So I come in every day, I plug my computer in, or dock my computer, and everything's already connected. I'm not connecting, 10 cables. So it's going to be a smaller purchase as well. But there's going to be different phases coming down. So yeah, this is definitely just one piece. It's not the end all be all.
And what's the average life of the laptop?
I would say 5 years.
5. And you said you have a plan then for, you're going to send us a plan where you're going to have like the equipment.
So yeah, we have a roadmap. It's really detailed. I'll send you that, and then I'll kind of summarize it as well. There's a lot of projects we're going to do. So this is just kind of the starting phase. And what we want to get done for the city. The other big piece is moving to Microsoft 365. I'm not going to try to get off too far off subject. That is a recurring cost. So the question is like, are we going to be able to afford moving forward? So we need to check all those pieces out as well.
Any further discussion? None. Thank you. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Yes, let's have a motion carried. Item 7.11, motion to approve renewal of a 1-year software support agreement between the City of Taylor and Uncut DBA Cloud Device for an amount not to exceed $78,864 funding provided per the attached schedule.
Motion?
Support.
Motion by Councilman Witten, supported by Councilman Johnson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Yes, let's have a motion carried. Item 7.12 is a motion to approve NEPCO sole source for the purchase of scoreboard equipment in an amount not to exceed $4,420 funded through TSX operating supplies.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Rose, supported by Councilwoman Daniels. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Yes, let's have a motion carried. Item 7.13 is a motion to approve the purchase of Zamboni batteries from Earl's Battery, low quote, for an amount not to exceed $9,498 funded through TSX repair and maintenance.
Motion?
Motion by Councilwoman Witten. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Councilwoman Daniels. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, we are looking for Zamboni drivers if anybody's interested.
The other rule, if Zamboni's on the ice, you can get off the ice. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Yes, let's have it. Motion carried. Item 7.14 is motion to receive and file the July 2024 budget performance reports.
Make a motion?
Motion by Councilman Johnson, supported by Councilman Rose. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Yes, let's have it. Motion carried. Item 7.15 is motion to receive and file the July 2024 paid invoice reports.
Make a motion?
Motion by Councilman Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Councilman Witten. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Yes, let's have it. Motion carried. Item 7.16 is a motion to nominate and appoint blank to fill the vacant position on the Taylor City Council per section 4.5 of the Taylor City Charter. Is there a nomination? Hearing no nomination, we'll go to item 7.17, motion to approve RFQ for towing services per the attached document.
Motion?
Support.
Motion by Councilman Witten, supported by Councilman Johnson. Is there any discussion?
Chairman?
Councilman?
Yes, a couple of points that I wanted to make before we vote on this. reaching out to prospective vendors, and I just think that that's not a good process. And if we're gonna do this, where does this end? Are council people gonna be in on the bid process? Are there gonna be opening envelopes? What's going on here? I don't understand why we're going away from the process. And I certainly didn't appreciate taking my time to be in a work group, to be told at the last council meeting that what the efforts from the work group weren't going to be considered. That it was that someone else had already done one, and that's the one that was going to be brought forward. And I just think that this sets us up for all kinds of problems. It doesn't look good. It doesn't pass the smell test at all. I think we're setting ourselves up for problems.
Any further discussion?
Chairman,
Councilman?
I will say, since this was my draft, this was largely based on a 2016 RFP that a committee worked on, so it's not my work. I said that in the last one, so I don't think that it was reinventing the wheel. There's noted changes that are indicated in red that were either edited or added, and I don't think it's anything overly substantial. As far as, again, as I covered in the last meeting, calling some vendors in the area to get some basic data on if they have certain things because it was asked. I think you had indicated in the last meeting that we had an email you were going to send it. I don't have that as far as the list of vendors that was supposed to be sent to us. So, yes, I did call some. Mr. Johnson called a few, and it was, again, getting very basic data on what they do. There was no request for bids. There was no discussion of the RFQ. It was, again, basic data. And I did not want to do that. I had wanted a list that I had asked for multiple times and didn't get. So, I mean, that's the reasoning why. It wasn't my preferred way to do it either. I had preferred it come as it was requested and discussed in the zoning committee meeting. So, again, I don't think this is reinventing the wheel. This was something that was worked on in 2016 by multiple members of council, members of the police department. This was bid. I think it went out in 16. It was discussed again in 18. The deputy police chief at the time, I think at the meeting in 18, there were 3 qualified bidders. He had spoke at the meeting to say that they were all 3 qualified. So again, I don't see, in absence of having something else, we set a deadline in